Put your hands in the air. I am the police.
What is up, guys? Welcome to it. That is actually what police do in the US. That's pretty much a live construction of what the feds do in the US. Today, as you probably guessed by the intro, we're talking about Need for Speed Heat's police. So in this game, unfortunately, they don't have guns or assault rifles. They have cars. Many different types of cars. I'm basically going to talk about everything I know about the police that I played with when I went over to EA Guildford to play the game for about 7 hours, 8 hours. So this is my impressions of the police after 7 to 8 hours. It's not like a full review or anything, so just keep that in mind. Also, shout out to my man EA for sending me out. Thank you very much for that. And Game Riot for sending me some gameplay, because literally half of my footage corrupted from the event. You'll know which gameplay is his because the license plate says Riot on the car, so little bit of a winky dinky warning. So the police in this game, for the first time, I'd say since Rivals, actually do something. In 2015, they were just brain dead. They were brainless. It was like playing with Black Panther online. I'm never gonna let go. You never did that Pink Slips video with me. Anyway, that's another story for a different day. Yeah, they actually want work and they're actually competitive. In Payback, they were just kind of scripted and not really fun to use. This is the first time I feel like police have actually been interesting since Rivals. Shout out to Need for Speed Rivals. That wasn't as bad of a game as people will say that game was. Anyway, so you probably want to know the actual in-depth stuff. That's why you've clicked on this video. You don't want to hear just me say the police were good. End of. Number 1, the car build. So this time round, building your car has never been so important because not only, can you make your car more grippy, more drifty, but you can also actually make your car kind of more around a cop-based build or a racetrack build or an off-road build, and there's multiple things you can do with it. Feels like Need for Speed is kind of going in an RPG direction, like properly. So for example, now in Need for Speed, you can actually install reinflatable tires. Reinflatable tires isn't on there by default. Another example of something you can do through the upgrade system is you can actually make your car stronger and have more like reinforcements in, which obviously increases the damage meter on the like HUD area of the screen. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Those are just 2 examples of the many auxiliary parts, both passive and active parts that you have available. Again, if you don't really know what I'm talking about and you haven't heard about the performance upgrade system, I'll leave a card somewhere up here where you can click on it and you can see things. I will explain performance upgrades to you in the fullest, yeah, just click over there somewhere. But that's the first thing which makes cop in chases so interesting, is because, you know, it really does depend on what build you have and how you go around racing with that build. It's not like it was before where you just go in there and you're just not really much happening. This time the punishments are hard, and your car has to be prepared. If you're not in a car tuned for cop racing, or cop battles I should say, you're not gonna survive at all. And this is something that I learned very early in the capture session. Number 2, damage. A lot of people were like, I just don't like damage. Oh my god, damage. When it first got announced, and I completely understand why. When you say damage, it makes you think of weapons, it makes you think Hop Shoot 2010, it makes you think of, you know, Need for Speed Rivals, and that's not really the direction that this Need for Speed should be going or is going in the slightest. Now, a little disclaimer, Hop Shoot 2010 was one of my favourite Need for Speed games in recent memory. I didn't really mind Rivals, but for the direction this game is going in, it doesn't need those 2 things that those 2 games had, like weapons. Doesn't need any of that. But the way it's being balanced in this game, it's absolutely sick. With damage, you only get 3 repairs within a night, so once you're on damage criticals, kind of when you want to use it. But it also makes it very strategic, like when do I use my repairs and when do I not use my repairs? Can I hold out before I use another repair? And it also kind of adds to the strategy of if you're trying to get to heat level 5, you're gonna have to be in the game for a while, and you're not gonna have many repairs left unless you're very careful, you know, when you eventually reach heat level 5. The repairs add a completely new, different tactic into the game, which we've never seen before, and honestly, it makes cop chases so fun for me. And honestly, for me, I'm not even that huge into cop chases. Usually with a Need for Speed game, I'm much more into the racing, I'm much more into the customization, but this is the first time I reckon I can say that since like Hop Shoot 2010, I am going to be bashing the nighttime mode in this game. Number 3, it's high heat races actually. So I managed to get into one. It was a heat level 3 race, and I actually got one of the exotic parts from that race. Like I said earlier, I don't have the footage for it, but it is hard to get to heat level 3. It took me an hour to get to heat level 4, which is quite a long time of playtime. Like if you want to get to heat level 5, I'd reckon that's probably going to take you an hour and a half. Which is a lot of playtime. Like if you think about it, an hour and a half worth of playtime, that's a lot. And it's not one of those things that you can just pause, and unless you're in solo, obviously. Like you have to finish that, you know, and then bank your score. But losing the police at heat level 4 and 5 is absolutely solid. They'll do things like rolling roadblocks. They'll do things like spike strips. Obviously, if you have reinflatable tires, that will help. But the thing is with reinflatable tires, and this is the really cool thing, you have to either pick between that or having a cop jammer, I believe, in the like auxiliary part. I might be wrong on which part it is specifically, but you can't have reinflatable tires and a cop jammer. It makes the whole thing a little bit more complicated. For me, I really like not having the inflatable tires because it adds a little bit more challenge to it, and you can really make use of the auxiliary parts more if you don't have reinflatable tires there. It's kind of a test of skill, really. If you kind of need to rely on the inflatable tires, they're there, but if you don't want them, you don't have to have them. And this little rant I'm going on right now is the reason why police are so fun in this game.
Probably sound like I'm on drugs.
Yeah, anyway, back to the high heat races. They're really intense, and before you even go into a high heat race, you need to make sure you lose the police so you can start the next event. It's not just as simple as going from one, pressing RB, going to another, pressing RB. There's a whole strategy to it, and I guess that's the overarching theme of this video. Strategy. There is actually strategy in a police chase for the first time in a Need for Speed game in absolutely years. It's one of those ones where there's strategy in your car build, there's strategy in the repairs and damage, there's strategy in how you end up encountering a night. Like every single time you start a pursuit, it starts at level 1 and goes up. So it's one of those things like, do you stay out in a certain area till it gets to another heat level? That there's so much to think about, which we never seen. And honestly, I think this is some of the best police pursuits I've seen in a Need for Speed game in a very long time. I feel like I'm going to shock a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people are going to think I'm paid by EA. No, I'm not. You're hurting my feelings. No, Heat is honestly a top quality game from the first 8 hours I've played. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I still need to, you know, fully immerse myself into the world. We only played 7 to 8 hours, but from what I played so far, the cops are fantastic. I have nothing but good things to say about this game so far. Bring on November. Please. Pretty please. Anyway, it's been your boy, StraightUpHippo. Safe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome day. Safe and peace.